Hey guys, so this video is following up on the video that I did about the three areas um of focus that I have that kind of keep me feeling positive or help strengthen my faith, serenity, and sanity. And those three areas are maintaining my spiritual condition, being of service, and taking care of myself. And so this one is going to be about maintaining my spiritual condition daily. And so I'm just going to share some things that work for me, and you're welcome to try those yourself if you like. And I'd love to hear from you about what things you do. Maybe you do completely different things, or maybe you do some of the same things, but you do things differently. I'd love to hear what you do and what works for you. So I'm only going to share three things because there are a lot of different things that I do, but this video would be really long if I shared them all. So, one thing I do is what I call daily RPMs, which is daily reading, prayer, meditation time. And this is not some unique concept that I developed, it's a concept from recovery program. But it's reading, prayer, and meditation time. Some people call this quiet time or a devotional time, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. It's just spending time with God. And so I do this in the morning. Most days if it's a day when like my kid wakes up before me and it's too hectic or something, then maybe I'll do it at a different time. But I really prefer to do it in the morning. I prefer to do it before my child wakes up, preferably. I try to wake up early. If that doesn't happen, I might like get her started on something else and do it. But I feel the best in the morning, and I usually have good mental focus in the morning, so that's when I like to do it. Usually it will be me reading the Bible, and usually I prefer for that to be for a pretty long time. And then praying, and by meditating, for me that's meditating on scripture, but for other people that might mean something different. And then the second thing is having a daily gratitude practice. And that's evolved over the years. When it first started out, it was because it was an assignment for me from my sponsor in recovery. And that was because I had such a bad attitude and was completely ungrateful and totally cynical. And I know that might sound weird because now I have this gratitude blog and a gratitude page on Facebook. But believe it or not, I was not so grateful and couldn't see positive things. And that's changed, but that's changed because I practice gratitude regularly. So I do a lot of different things. Sometimes I'll go through the alphabet while I'm falling asleep and focus, not just say C, coffee, D, dad. Not like that. Like, really focus on, meditate on the thing that I'm grateful for. Thank God for the thing that I'm grateful for. Or it could be something completely different. That's just one example. I'm just trying to give you an example. I have a lot of videos on gratitude and blog posts on an entire blog on it. So we're not going to go on and on. But having a daily gratitude practice cannot be underrated. And why I'm mentioning this under the scope of maintaining a spiritual condition is because those gifts that you're thankful for all come from God. And it not only are you thanking the God that gives you the stuff, and so it gives you a better connection with God, but also it helps you stay where you are in reality, in the moment. That makes you more centered spiritually. So there are just a zillion reasons why practicing gratitude improves your spiritual condition. Then lastly, I think finding a way to become a more reverent and humble person has helped me improve my spiritual condition, and doing that regularly helps me maintain my spiritual condition. that might sound very abstract. So I'll give you like a concrete example. And that for me, that is spending time in nature, even if it's just in my backyard, but my backyard is in the woods. Um, so, uh, so how that works for me, or why that works, is if I'm in nature, even if it's just like spending 5 minutes in the woods or looking at the woods, being quiet and observing nature helps me remember big picture who God is, who I am, that I am not God, and that God is God. That makes me more reverent. Remember that God is holy. I am not holy. And I think that is really critical in maintaining my spiritual condition, because it puts me back in my place, and not like a lashing, like just remembering what the world is all about and what spirituality is all about. So I hope that that kind of helps explain that one, and why that one is really important for me, because for many years I just basically thought that I won't say that I didn't cognizantly, wasn't going around thinking I am God, but I sort of behaved as if I were God, because I made all my decisions for myself. I prayed, but most of my prayers were basically like to-do lists for God, and like Santa wish lists for God, not me actually worshiping and revering God and understanding I know nothing, you know everything. I had a real problem with just praying for God's will, because I didn't actually believe that God knew more than I did. And if you have a problem only praying for God's will, and you want to tell God, you want to be like, I just pray for God's will for this person. I pray that you just heal this person, and that you would just take over, and that you would come in and just do this and this. And you want to basically lay out a blueprint for God and then tack on, and your will be done. That's not praying for God's will, just to let you know, because that's what I used to do. So having true reverence for God and understanding that God is holy, that you don't know anything about what's best for another person, is really getting into that place of reverence and understanding your place. And so for me, that's a very important part of maintaining my spiritual condition. I feel like I'm getting really preachy. But that is what has worked for me. And that's the only way I can really maintain like proper perspective as far as God and me. So those three things, the RPMs, the gratitude practice, and reverence, right relationship, are crucial for me. So that's it on the spiritual condition. It was like 8 minutes long. I was trying to do 3. That's okay. This isn't for my business. So hope that one helps, and I'll do 2 more videos on the other 2 sections.